Wellbeing is more of a buzzword than we've ever seen before. Wellbeing in the workplace is constantly climbing up the agenda. The war for talent is on, and there's more wellbeing solutions available to us than we've ever seen before, probably in human history. So if you're in charge of people, of leading a team, or guiding a business, chances are that wellbeing is probably quite high up on your agenda. But where do we even start? How do we go about it? How do we think about it? My name is Mike from Better Happy, and what I want to take you through today in this short video is an overview of the right approach to wellbeing, why most businesses and teams are getting it wrong, and how to do it better. So why is wellbeing in the workplace so important? Well, if we look back to the Industrial Revolution, it didn't used to be. We used to put people into jobs to do repetitive tasks for as long as possible until they got too old or too sick, and then we replaced them with somebody else. We treated them like machines. And that used to work, rightly or wrongly so. However, we're in a different time now, and that approach no longer works. So jobs are more mentally demanding now. So you can't just rely on people doing repetitive tasks. We need people to be creative. We need people to solve problems. We need people to be customer facing. So if they're not well, they're not going to be able to do that. So performance is going to go down and stress is going to go up if we're not looking after well-being. Our lifestyles are becoming more and more comfortable, but also more and more unhealthy, more sedentary, less organic food, more processed food, more time on social media and in front of phones. So health is actually declining outside of work, even though our lives are becoming more comfortable and, in theory, a higher quality. We've now got an option to survive without working. This is a completely new thing. Historically, back in the Industrial Revolution and back in the early 1900s, if you didn't work, you were going to die, and before that as well. Whereas now, if you're sick or you're not enjoying your work, you can just go off from work and you will be able to survive, maybe not with the highest quality of lifestyle, but you'll be able to survive nonetheless. And of course, people have got choice of jobs now. So if they don't like the job that you're giving to them, or you're not looking after them, or they feel that the work they're doing is taking away from their quality of life, they've always got the option to leave. Historically, that wasn't really the case. So we were set up to just rely on people taking their jobs, appreciating them, and doing the same stuff and over again without worrying about them leaving. But no longer does that work. So most modern businesses will be made or broken dependent on how happy their people are. So how happy, how engaged, how much they want to stick around, how much they want to do their work, how much they're capable of doing that work. If you can nurture a team that can be happy and perform, your business is probably going to grow. If you're unable to hold on to people and keep them productive, chances are your business is going to struggle. Now, what most businesses do when they start to struggle with well-being, because well-being is an increasing problem because of some of the reasons that I've just talked about, mainly being because lifestyle's changing and becoming more unhealthy, and the symptoms of that present themselves at work. And what a lot of businesses do is they ignore this until it becomes an issue, and then they have what we call a knee-jerk reaction, and they come up with solutions such as putting on yoga classes, gym memberships, giving people access to videos, telling them how to be healthy, meditation classes, etc., etc. Now, I'm not saying that these things are wrong, but what I am saying is they're probably not the right initial solution, and they're probably a knee-jerk solution. If you think about it, the people that are normally struggling with their well-being the most aren't the kind of people that are actually going to respond very well to these things. People that will respond to these things tend to be people that already prioritise and look after their health. So hence the reason when most businesses put on gym memberships to address well-being, the people that are already healthy use them, the people that are struggling don't. It's kind of obvious. So it's not a very good solution if we think about it on the surface. Now, a lot of businesses see well-being as a challenge, and I think this is incorrect. I think well-being is an opportunity for businesses. And if we look here, we've got an image of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And this is a well-known, widely accepted psychological model that shows us what a human needs and how they progress throughout their life. So once they've got their physiological needs at the bottom there, they'll move to safety needs. And without going into too much detail on this chart, what we can essentially see is the workplace is an ideal place to provide the higher echelons of this chart. So once somebody's got their safety and their physiological needs, they want friendships, which of course we can get from work and out of work. And then we move into esteem, so getting closer to the top of the chart now. And it's where people want to know that they're good, competency, mastery. They want to know that they're good at something, that they've got some value, that they're able to contribute to the world. And most of us do that through our work. So this is pivotal to somebody's well-being, and for most people, they're only going to find this at work, or predominantly going to find it at work. And again, if we go to the top, we've got utilising talents, pursuing goals, utilising abilities. These are all things that can be done and should be done in the workplace. So if you look at your workplace and think of it as a challenge to well-being, you're probably looking at it the wrong way. Actually, people come to work not just to get paid, but to find these higher levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is essentially what gives a human their ultimate level of well-being. So don't look at your business, your team, whatever it is you do as a barrier to well-being. Look at it as a stepping stone to increase well-being that's got a few challenges. So we've accepted that well-being at work is important. We've accepted that if we don't address it, we're probably going to lose our staff and our business is going to suffer. And we've also accepted that actually our business is a great place to improve well-being. But how do we go about the challenges that we face? Well, first of all, you need to stop looking at well-being on its own, okay? It doesn't work on its own. So health, typically what we look at as well-being, is one component. Then we've got engagement, then we've got performance. If one of those things isn't there, doesn't matter how hard you focus on the other, the improvements aren't going to come. So essentially, health, do your staff know how to be healthy? And this is where most people start. They look at it and they go, okay, right, they've got bad backs, they're stressed, let's give them some training around that. Okay, but we've also got to look at engagement. Do my staff actually enjoy their work and do they feel valued at work? And performance. Are my staff able to do their jobs whilst maintaining a work-life balance? So if you're answering no to performance and engagement and then you're just trying to throw loads of well-being solutions at it, never going to work, because I could give somebody all the tips in the world on how to be healthier, but if they're knackered by their job and they feel stressed and burnt out because of their job, it doesn't matter, does it? It's not going to make any difference. So we've got to answer all of those questions and we've got to ask our staff all of those questions. Once we've asked those questions, we can start to look at, okay, how do we address the components here? How do we actually improve it? Okay, so when it comes to health, we tend to look at movement, nutrition, sleep, and stress management. When it comes to engagement, we've got a strategic narrative, which is essentially, do my staff know why my company exists and what we're here to achieve? Do we have engaging managers? So are they supported? Do the employees have a voice? Are they listened to? And is there integrity? Are our core values and our vision and our values all lived by all of the staff? Or are we saying one thing and doing another? And then we need to look at performance as well. So are my staff able to enjoy work-life balance? Whether these other things as well. Are they able to achieve sustainable results? Do they embrace leadership mindsets as they go up through the ranks? And are they able to build systems and processes as opposed to just doing work? So often what we see is that when staff go into more senior roles, that's when well-being starts to plummet. Now, if their well-being was great before that, the chances are that it's not a lack of knowledge around how to be healthy that's causing the issues. It's a lack of how to do that, how to handle the increased stress of the job. So when people go into senior roles, we need to make sure they receive training on how to shift from just doing hard work, because that's what they've been promoted for and recognised for, to how to help others to do that work, how to build systems, how to build processes. So when we look at it like this, we start to see that they all feed each other. And if you're ignoring one or any of them at the expense of another, it won't work. And I think the most common problem we see is well-being's an issue. Bringing somebody to the yoga classes, bringing someone to do fitness classes, give everybody gym passes, give everybody vouchers, have one day off a year and say it's because you've worked so hard and that's going to solve all the problems. It won't, okay? That's actually going to cost you more money and time and stress than actually just stepping back and looking at it and asking these simple questions. So if you are in charge of a team, or you're going into a role where you might be in charge of a team, or you're running a business, whatever it might be, if your role requires you to get the most out of people and support them, and well-being's on your agenda, probably should be, then before you get too lost in the details and the solutions and all the different providers, simply ask yourself and ask your staff these three questions. Do they know how to be healthy? Do they feel valued at work, and are they able to enjoy their work? And do they know how to do their jobs well? Ask those questions, ask your staff those questions, and you're going to get more insight into what you need to do to sustainably improve well-being in your workplace, and more improvement from asking those questions than you are by spending any amount of money with somebody that's got the ideal solution. So you've probably got the answers there, your staff have got the answers there, but the key takeaway from this is don't just think about it as health. Think about your workplace as being a provider of well-being, something that can help people improve their well-being and their self-worth and their value. And the way that they do that is, yes, by knowing how to be healthy, by actually enjoying the work and feeling that they're valued at their work, and by knowing how to do their jobs, especially as they step up into more senior leadership positions. I hope that's been helpful for you. If you have got any questions or any insights, or if you've just got any tips that you want to share, then please don't hesitate to like, share, or comment.